Hey guys, Jay-Sensei again. This would be what if Naruto was born as Link and inherited his powers. Now, I believe I left off with Shukaku emerging from Gaara. So yeah. Alright. Now, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura are returning to the forest, and the Sand siblings attempt to stop them, but Sasuke and Sakura pretty easily no-diff the siblings. And Naruto kind of just stared at his Shukaku and closed his eyes. Now, as Naruto's staring at Shukaku, closes his eyes, and he looks at Kurama. Naruto says, "Kurama, would you help me save that boy from your brother?" Kurama just nodded, saying, "Why not?" Now, Naruto would immediately cancel stasis on Kurama, and Kurama would rise. Now, with this, Kurama would poke his fist to the cage, telling Naruto this is how their power gets amped. So with this, Naruto and Kurama fist bump, and with this, they have a temporary fusion, so to say. We then see Naruto transform into Kurama, basically his chakra surrounds him, and turns into the Kyuubi. Kurama would pounce on Shukaku and basically tore him apart till they found Gaara. And the Naruto would immediately use stasis on, well, basically Gaara's seal, which would make sure Shukaku's chakra can't leak out of it, and that it can't go back in, leaving just a puddle of sand around Gaara. Not a puddle, but a mass of sand around Gaara. And Naruto would immediately basically weave hand seals as Kurama before going into Gaara's mind. In Gaara's mind, Naruto would basically just use a myriad of abilities to try to seal, well, Shukaku. So yeah. What abilities would work? Probably mainly just stasis. I would say stasis, mind control, and that's about it. And Naruto just does just that, basically just controlling Gaara. Or Shukaku. With this, Shukaku is just more or less suppressed in Gaara's mind, and Gaara would fall asleep. Tamari would rush over thinking that Naruto killed Gaara, but she realizes he's sleeping, peacefully. Naruto would go back to his normal form, as Kurama needs to go back into his mind. And Naruto would observe Hiruzen's fight against Tsukage, as Naruto just tells Sakura to, help make sure siblings aren't attacked by Oto or Konohanin, but make sure that no hidden sand and get a one up on you either. Then Naruto tells Sasuke to go with him. With this, Naruto ran off, going to a one-tip cloak with Sasuke on his back. He tells Sasuke to sit down, but more kind of just stand, and Sasuke can do that. If he sits down, he will boil. His shoes with chakra on him should be resistant enough to get to that main area before they boil away. So yeah. And Naruto would be able to run into the arena in the middle of it, as there's really no more citizens there, and there's Otonin and Kakashi and Guy. And Naruto knows they can react in time. When he basically points at a certain area and tells Sasuke, "Yushidori Senbone." And Sasuke would immediately do it, as three small streams would pierce supports and basically collapse in the roof. Hiruzen wobbled as the barrier would fall, but Anbu on standby just leaped and quote-unquote saved him like he is not a Hokage. Now Naruto at the same time would charge Hashirama and use a bomb to basically create a bomb and throw it at Hashirama. Well, let's say the square bomb, to make sure it's more encapsulated. Kind of resembling dust release. And with this, it explodes, but due to Naruto not being immune to his own bombs, he's caught in the middle of it. So yeah. Now with this, Naruto has his arms burned by it, but they heal relatively quickly. And he does see Hashirama's kunai was destroyed, rendering his body basically immobile, and he can actually just talk about what he wants. Everyone will have to face Guy, Kakashi, Asuma, and Sasuke. And due to everyone being a bit weaker, he's not going to win, but he's more than capable enough to contend that entire group with minimal difficulty, besides maybe 7 through 8th gate Guy. So yeah, But Kakashi would reveal activate his his MS ability, and well, he unlocked it with Sasuke. Now, Asuna's basically being fueled by fury, and to the point where his chakra blades are basically having chakra extend from them, to the point where his blades would technically double in size, allowing him to basically fight from a distance and not having to get close. So yeah. Now, Sasuke would use Curse Mark plus his Sharingan as they all fight Tobirama. Eventually, an attack named Dual Stream, from Kakashi and Kakashi and Sasuke, using Story Senbone, would have 15 streams of chakra, would basically pierce Toyama's body, which allowed basically guided Kunai at Asuma to get away from the body and cracking it down, only for Asuma to punch it into dust. So, yeah. Orochimaru and Hiruzen fight, but due to Hiruzen being a bit worn down, Orochimaru being able to basically just rest for a bit and actually hide and ambush. Like, what happened? What happened is Hiruzen was with the Anbu, Orochimaru rested, and as soon as Hiruzen was getting ready to fight, Orochimaru killed the two Anbu and began ambushing Hiruzen. So Orochimaru had a one-up on Hiruzen right then and there. But Hiruzen had enough power that he regained to basically seal Orochimaru more like a statue. Like, he's alive and can barely breathe. He's alive but can barely breathe. Like, how his arms are basically just sealed as, like, stone. He's gonna seal like that now. Or at least they weren't stone, but his entire body seems to be corroding away like that. Like, it'll have, like, small cracks that leak out blood, and he has to keep getting healed. So, yeah. The body kind of has that purplish tint. So, yeah. Alright. So, yeah. Now, Orochimaru would basically just collapse down using his blood summon Manda, who just reverse summons Saryuchi Cave with Kabuto and the Sound 4. Now, with this, Kabuto would pick up Orochimaru and just kind of drag him off as fast as he can. And, yeah. Now, when it came to the Hokage election, the crazy thing is, he also recommended having Naruto as a candidate. He's smart, he's wise, he's powerful, and basically everyone likes him. The only people who don't like him is probably literally just maybe Sasuke, and that's a very big if. So, yeah. Well, and Danzo. But, yeah. But also, well, they do have, like, Tsunade and stuff like that. But yeah, so, when they asked Naruto, he was at the hot springs of Jiraiya. Not, like, peeping, but they were just hanging out in the hot springs. Shoku would ask Naruto, who was running towel saying, "So, Naruto, do you think you're ready to be Hokage?" And Naruto would think about it, saying, I've never really thought about that. I'm thinking about it now, I guess. Well, some people I've met after the attack only coming on as Guardian, since I did kind of minimize some of the damage. But aren't I too young? Shoku just shrugged, saying, "You assisted in the defeat of a Sannin. Bested the Ninja Horsemen of the Mist, who are all known to be able to at least take out small villages individually, as a group, a nation. And, well, you're nearly identical to the fourth Hokage as an adult, in terms of intelligence. In my opinion, you should be Lord Fifth." Naruto and Jiraiya were both surprised that the smartest man they've ever met, aside from maybe Hiruzen, is saying this to their face. And we fast forward a few days. Not long after those 5 days end, or at the end of the 5th day, a ceremony is being held, and Naruto is announced as the 5th Hokage. But he will have 2 advisors and 2 Hokage aid. So not just Kakashi and Shikaku as his advisors, but had Jiraiya as his only current aid, which is actually acceptable right now. So yeah. And Naruto decided to have a demand to find Tsunade, which Jiraiya would go, and Naruto decided to go with him, having Kakashi and Shikaku as his advisors, basically allow the village to keep running even if he's not there. And you do understand, because Naruto's so young, experience is good. So he's had small amounts of experience, but the severity of them kind of made up for that. So they're kind of letting him go out and get more experience, even though they don't really want their Kage to leave and they get attacked at some point. So, yeah. In the meantime, Kakashi, Kurenai, Guy, and Asuma fight Itachi and Kisame. Itachi and Kakashi went at it, and Kakashi was actually able to catch Itachi off guard with Chidori Senbone, and basically pierce Itachi's shoulder and graze his leg. And Kisame would attack Kakashi to basically, try to kill him and get him away from Itachi. But immediately we see Guy appear from below Kisame and just say, "Daytime Tiger," as he's in the 7th gate. And that was point blank to Kisame's face, but also hit Itachi on half of his body. So with this, basically like a giant white blast that echoes across Konoha, and we see Kisame's body engulfed in this white blast, and half of Itachi's body. And they're both sent flying away. Pause. Alright. If Kakashi fainted and remained unconscious due to chakra exhaustion, Sasuke still finds out and goes after Itachi. Now, Naruto learned the steps of Rasengan. Well, now, that was a bad transition. Sasuke went after Itachi. Back on the trip, Naruto had learned the basic steps of Rasengan and learned all the jutsu itself within 12 hours. Or learned the jutsu itself. I read that weird. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, I read it. And he learned the steps of Rasengan and learned the jutsu itself all within 12 hours. Yeah, that's how it was. I read that weird. I read too fast. Yeah, the rest of the time he's trying to basically combine it with wind. By the time he does meet Tsunade... Oh yeah, by the way. Kisame had a number of broken bones and Itachi broke a few as well. Plus he was punctured and burned by lightning. So, his wounds are not closing anytime soon. So they cannot go after Naruto. Like, he's making rest inside Hada and heal after like a few days, maybe. Naruto and Jiraiya travel fast. Like, Jiraiya probably slowed down to make sure that none of the Naruto could keep up with him. Jiraiya's going at top speed, so's Naruto. They're moving. So, yeah. They're probably going to make it to Tsunade within probably a day. So, yeah, there's really no means for Itachi and Kisame to go find Naruto. Because, well, like I said before, Kisame had a point-blank daytime tire to his entire body, and Itachi had half of his body hit by it. At the most, we should be surprised that Itachi is not dead right now. Like, if he actually wanted to, he could have used his last bit of chakra. It would have killed him, but he could have just convoyed away half of his body and killed him. So, he could have done that, technically, but yeah. But yeah. But by the time the Naruto does meet Tsunade, or Jiraiya does mainly, he introduces Naruto as the 5th Hokage, which did shock her. And this did lead to like a small basic debate. We're not sure proved much smarter than Tsunade. But Naruto wants to test his power because, well, one, he's replacing her sensei. She needs to know he's strong enough to protect them. Yeah. And Naruto basically weave hand seals of using jutsu that she can compete with. But immediately, well, Tsunade decides to go into 100 healings to make sure she could compete with Naruto. But Naruto would use Daruk's protection combined with the flame barrier around his body, and it withstood her full power blows 3 times in a row, which was enough for her to prove that Naruto, at the very minimum, would not die in hand-to-hand combat. So yeah. But after tells her that Konoha does need her to go back to Konoha for healing, he also got word that Kakashi is suffering chakra exhaustion, so he does need a bit of help. And Tsunade is okay with that. So, yeah. But he does tell her that if she wants to, she may leave, but he does request that she wear the Konoha symbol somewhere to prove that she's willing to be a shinobi. And she agrees to that because Naruto's being nice. So, yeah. But as they're about to leave, Tsunade is in her hotel room, only for Naruto to knock and mention that she was very conflicted. And she's surprised that he knew, but she mentioned something. So yeah. But Bernie goes Tsunade's offer for Kabuto. This time, Kabuto began the transformation for Orochimaru. In fact, he actually talked to Orochimaru about it. Zoro can see through the cracks. In fact, it actually just hurts to see. He closes his eyes, more or less. If he doesn't bleed. If he opens his eyes, he bleeds. So, kind of just reason enough. Open your eyes, you bleed. Close them, you don't bleed. Perfect. Pause one more time. What was I? Oh yeah, so Kabuto basically would talk to Orochimaru about his idea, and Orochimaru could basically just like cough out, basically, was do it. As Orochimaru had the idea that Kabuto could become a perfect sage. Orochimaru was not a hater. Unless like Hidan and Kakuzu, he would not hate you that much. Or actually if you're Hiruzen too. Forgot that, but yeah. So about 3-4 people that he actually hates on, and that's about it. Kabuto's basically this man's assistant. I don't know why he wouldn't ask for a project that he knows Kabuto could complete without him. So yeah, or he'd say no to, but yeah. But Kabuto would begin the transformation, and he basically needs Tsunade there to make sure it went perfectly, but also to soothe Orochimaru's pain. And Naruto was surprised about that, but he had an idea. So we fast forward probably about the next night actually. Kabuto was ready to retrieve Tsunade and Chizune, but he felt something was off. He could question them, but he did get an impression that they were. He got an impression that they weren't lying. Now Kabuto summoned Manda to reverse summon away, which, by the way, if you guys are wondering why I use that so much, it is a perfect means of escape. Why is it not used much more often? It's perfect. Literally, summon, go. You're gone. You're in a whole different. If Naruto were to reverse summon away from like the middle of the fight with like Sasuke to Mount Miboku, Sasuke could probably find him, but it would take Sasuke it's like on foot from Konoha to Mount Miboku. It's 3 months. If Sasuke could go like full speed, but use what little sensory he has, probably give him like a week tops, and that's being a bit generous to maybe Naruto, which is very very impressive actually. So yeah, reverse summon is very effective. I use it a lot. So yeah, but we got to summon Manda. So Tane would try to throw up her pig Tonton, and immediately Tonton would turn into Jiraiya. Jiraiya would throw shoes in the air as they turn into Ma and Pa, which is summon like a transformation within a transformation, which is very impressive. And with this, Jiraiya would land already activated in perfect Sage mode. And with this, well, they killed Manda right then and there. Now, Kabuto would attempt to jump away, but he jumped into a watery barrier. And the moment that he touched it, it froze. As was within the barrier, he just sees Naruto sitting there, and the barrier would crumble. Kabuto's body being basically frozen stiff from basically just muscles and out. Now, Naruto would stand up, as he would weave hand seals saying, Water Style, Sidon's Trident. Four spikes of water shoot from Naruto's mouth, and basically maimed Kabuto, cutting off every single one of his limbs, so, yeah. But Kabuto would just smirk before he sticks out his tongue, revealing a seal, and he poofs away. Reverse summoning. I love it. Now, Naruto will basically grab a chunk of Kabuto's body and create a greenish bubble around it, and the bubble will just disappear. Now, they head back to Konoha, and they find Sasuke returning as well, with torn clothes, a bruised body, and sticks in his hair, as he says, What village did you go to? Naruto says, we went that way. Why are you going that way? Also, he talks about Itachi and Kisame as they're all walking. They're like, oh, you wanted revenge? My bad. Didn't mean to sound rude when I questioned you. All that. So, yeah. Now, before we go forward, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut this part short right here. Now, this is part 3. I plan on probably going out. This is page, 17, and I'm probably going to get to page like 25. So yeah, we have a good 2 parts of the series left. I hope you guys look forward to that. Adios.